Very good.
I agree. Gretchen too. My son, he's almost 17. You press record?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Okay. Ooh. Go ahead, turn up. Okay, so to go, let's start with technique and see where it takes us. We spend the whole lesson doing the concerto. Alright, okay. Are you doing different keys?
Yes.
What do you mean you guess? You're
I
on
can do different keys.
Okay, well, let's start with one and go on. Why don't you play B flat major for me, 2 notes per bow? Okay, pretty good. How about B major, 3 notes per bow? That's a little bit out of tune, but a good attempt. How about C major, 4 notes per bow? G flat major, 5 notes per bow, and come to the frog every time.
Wait, how many is it?
5. Why don't you try again? It has to have 5 every time, and when you reach the top, don't repeat the top note, just go across. No, you're not playing 5 there, you're playing only 4. Try again. Good girl. Yeah. And now you lost it. That's fine. G, please. Still 5. No, you're doing 4 at the top. You need to play another note there. No, that's not 5 anymore. Don't worry and don't freak out. Mistakes are fine as long as you know and manage to fix them. So make an effort and do San Domenico on every bow. You know what I'm saying? San Dominica 5. Or Niki Fukada. Yeah. At the very end, you switch to 6. So why don't you go back to the B flat and do 6 actually? What if I ask you to play 5 at B flat? Good. How about we go to C major and play arpeggios? There. Now go on. All of them. Do you have the music?
What?
Do you have the music for the scale?
Yeah.
Open it. There you are. Oh. Oh. Oh, you already played that one. Play the second one. I want the slurs and the notes. Don't rush. Very slow. Good. Go the next one. Okay, fine. Did you practice arpeggio at home?
I only did major one.
Oh, you only did the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to practice them all. Pick one key. You can start with the D since you have the music in D major, right? But then you need to remember how they sound and you have to remember the numbers. You don't have to actually remember in a way that you write them down, even though that doesn't hurt. But you have to not think when you are in a position and you hear the pitch, boom, your finger drops down. Then eventually, when you see the note, you hear that note in your head, boom, your finger drops down. Do you understand? That's basically what sight reading is, to be able to convert the dead music on the sheet into the live music in your head. And fingers have to hear it and drop it. Understand? Yeah, arpeggios are very, very important. Now, you obviously are a capable and gifted person and very musical, but you also seem to be able to multitask very well. Is her sister multitasking as well or not?
On
meaning
music?
thinking.
You mean in music or in
I mean in music because it requires completely different work with different limbs and brains.
I don't know. It's not so straightforward with her, you know.
Okay.
But I would like to see that. I'm working to get that going.
Because I think that her level of certain playing violin is slightly under her level of ability here, and that's why I want to push her far until I get like Chiyan that point.
I agree. The other,
Okay.
but she didn't have that background. You know, she never did minor arpeggios before she saw
And
you,
so what?
and it's okay.
So what? I mean, look, how old are you now? 10, you know, and it's fine. Igor Oyster started to play violin when he was 12. So yeah, you're 2 years ahead.
Is there a Sefchik for the cello?
Yeah, but I don't recommend it. I mean, you can. Millie, I don't vouch Shevchik for Millie. But the problem is that the idiot that converted Shevchik for cello and for viola converted it in the same exactly key as the violin. And the point was, I think he was Suzuki person or something, the point that they were pursuing that there's a piano part that, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful for violinists and violists to play together? But hey, it's supposed to be on the certain strings, not in a certain key. So when I use it with my viola students, they use the violin part and transpose. Just a little extra multitasking for them. But because the original reprinted version is garbage. Okay? Now, I want you to learn all of those arpeggios, and I want you now go to the D, play the first note of the D. Oh, wait a minute, don't play it, sing it. Now play it. Good. Now, I want you to look at penultimate arpeggio. Do you know that word? Penultimate means one before the very last one. Not the last one, but the one before. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the name of that chord?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the names of the notes? Okay, name the first note. We'll play a little game. You will name the note, then you will sing the note, and then I will hit it on the keyboard, and we will both know whether you got it or not. Go. First note, name is.
D.
Sing it. You could call it a re.
Okay.
Sing re. Re. Don't worry about it. You're a chorus singer. What's the big deal? Just sing re. Re. Go ahead. I'll sing with you. Ready? And. Re.
Come on,
Good
Evan,
girl.
go.
What's the name of the next note?
F.
Can you sing F for me? That would be a beautiful voice you have. So that is fa. That's Italian name for that. So why don't I sing re and you sing fa? Ready? On. Re. Beautiful. How about the next note?
G sharp.
Okay. Can you? Very good. You know that I don't think half of my technique class at Crowden, and I have 8 best players there, could do that. Do it again. Very good. Call it sol. Give me sol. Go ahead, sing the sol and. Oh, it sounds beautiful. How about the last one?
B.
Yeah, can you sing B for me?
Wait.
You can sing down there if you want. Good girl. Yes. You know what? What your kid just did, well, not actually, but let's try to finalize that. I want you to play the re on the violin, the first note. Don't just keep on playing. And sing that second note. Play the second note and go on. Can continue. And one more. Okay. Right. In the last 10 years, she's the first one who could do that. So, there is a lot of training. Obviously, you put a lot of knowledge, information, and thought, and musicianship, and whatever. But there is mind that greatly underused, musically speaking. And my music theory and solfege and whatever teachers would love her. They would put their clothes in her and say, "Oh my God, we have a composer here. Hands off!" She's
Well, if Eugene had a music theory class for Ella and Oliver and Gretchen, we will come.
Well, I realized that
we don't go to Crowden, so we don't have
I realized
the
at
time
some
for
point
that.
I work with students who don't come prepared because we had hours every week of that training. And I realized how much easier for my teachers were to teach me than for me to teach some of the kids. But the point that she so easily separates her mind and goes in multi-direction is wonderful, right? So yeah, I'm not telling my students to ever go into the music alone, even though every year one or two do, right? But I suggest double majors or multi-directions or whatever, and over the years I've created dozens of doctors who play violins very well, but also one of my kids is teaching at Indiana now, and he had GPA 4.8. How did he get it? I don't know, but he got double major in Oberlin and dropped science. I was really mad at him. But, he comes visit sometimes and he says, "Well, you see, I'm a musician." Anyway, just a very smart musician, although I still believe that he could cure cancer or do something great, and there are plenty of good Japanese violists without him. But that's his life, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has amazing talent and ability of thinking simultaneously in many directions. And yes, it's very important for the violinist, but how are your science grades, dear? Good.
Yeah.
Now, it would be nice if you could spend some time with my son, because he's pretty much on the college level science right now, and he's only in middle school. And he's an exceptionally talented violinist, amazing. He was with VP, only the second kid who joined the VP in the last 40 years in the middle school. The other kid graduated from Juilliard. But I don't think he would go into music because his mind is in science. We're gonna have a girl who, Noor Perlmutter, right? My student. Her father, Saul Perlmutter, is a Nobel Prize winner in astrophysics, New Einstein. So, lovely family, lovely kid, and Saul will come to San Dominica Festival to give them a couple of lectures about universe and space and the world and whatever. And he's a fascinating person to talk to, and he's actually a very fine violinist. So that's the point I want to make, that I don't just teach them to play scales and arpeggios, I create free minds right here. And what she just did, she did not just teach herself to play a stupid diminished seven, even though in the last conversation with Saul, I told him, he was sitting in that chair, I said that I will never be able to grasp that expansion of the universe that he discovered that is so much accelerated that doesn't matter what we do, we will never even reach the end of it with our minds because it's rapidly escaping from us. But one thing I know will is a diminished seven chord because it doesn't have beginning or end and it just goes through space, through all the keys and everything. And his face just suddenly lit up and says, "My God, you just gave me so many ideas." Yes, I inspired a Nobel Prize laureate. You did wonderfully. And here is your homework, and please understand that if you succeed, great. If you don't, doesn't matter. But I want you to try. I want you to learn all of these arpeggios because I think you're capable of in D major. But then we will play them in the different keys. Can you play for me first 4 notes of that diminished chord one more time? You don't have to sing, you just have to hear the next note in your head before your finger strikes it. One more time. Just 4 notes. 2, 4, 1, 3. And you have one more shot to play it slow and in tune. Hear the pitch before you, hear the pitch in the fingertip. Drop the finger where the note is. Good girl. There. Playing once, but clean and correct and relaxed is much more valuable than 10 times missing a little bit. Understand? Slow down. Do you know who Billy Joel was? Or is? He's still with us, I guess. He's a famous singer and a pianist. One of his songs is my favorite song of them all, and it starts, "Slow down, you crazy child." I'll play it for you later. Anyway, now play the same exactly chord in B flat major. That's your first note. Can you hum for me the next note? Just play it. But play slow and hear the next note. Yes. Alright. There is one thing that I always thought, and I'm almost scared to discover, because what I noticed, especially in Marin County, in California, teenagers are not able to play 2 minor thirds one after another. They have to squeeze some happiness somewhere. Whatever darkness this child had, that she so easily puts 3 minor thirds together. No problem. Because that talent is one thing, but I see ease in this, and it's not just the talent, it's a bit of the darkness in the soul. But you're doing great. I'm very, very impressed. So, learn them in D. If you think that you succeeded and you still have time and desire, you don't have to. Don't let anybody push you. But if you think that you want to, just start learning all of the keys. Eventually, I think even before the festival is over, you should be the type of the kid who, you know, when I came to play for college auditions, and I didn't even know that it's college auditions, it was an accident. I came to play for one teacher, happened to see 18 in front of me. And they said, "Can you play scale?" I said, "Yeah." "Go ahead," they said. I said, "Which one would you like?" And they said, "Huh, how about F sharp minor?" "No problem." And I could play all of them. No problem. With all their pictures and everything. I guess that tipped them off, and then I did a boo-boo because they said, "Can you play, do you play any etudes?" I said, "Yeah, I can play Paganini Caprice." So I played, they stopped me after half of a page. "How about your concertos?" I said, "I could play Mendelssohn concerto." And this lady sits and starts. I give her a dirty look and go, I like it fast. She smiled and go. So they let me play for a couple of pages. Then we were best friends. I dated her daughter for a while. And she was amazing pianist. She played with Minuchin and everything. But then 2 days later, my mother realized that I was accepted to college even though I was only 15. Freedom! I enjoyed myself. 14 hours away from my parents. No phones, no nothing. Anyway, Shevchik, you did great with the scales. I wish all my technique class members would do the same. Yeah, we're talking about WhatsApp or FaceTime teaching. I may be forced to do this with all my students, even local. This Monday, San Dominica is doing the trial remote teaching.
So is my son's school.
They are not actually worried about it because this is a fully electronic school. Everything is on the network and every kid has the most sophisticated
I'm really
iPad.
glad because, it's just better.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Because the kids are the carriers for the old people. It's not the kids, it's the people they come in, grandma and
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
right,
have-
yeah, totally.
I have a question.
Please.
What does the without wrist mean?
Pardon me?
It says without wrist, and I don't exactly.
Without wrist.
Yeah.
Well, it actually should have a wrist. Let me show you. Look. You are staying here. You probably should say catch the G with the wrist. Otherwise, I don't know why would it say without wrist, right? Because this is what the point is. When you go like this, you play, or maybe this what I meant, that you don't. You play from the elbow and you play. I can find the stroke without the G string. But for the kid to practice, this, that flick right here that you do from the wrist strikes the bouncy action. So do you understand? Later on, when as we were speaking about the Mendelssohn concerto, there is this cadenza with all the crazy ricochet, and everybody's going, oh my god, it's so hard. No, it isn't. There is another thing. You know how some people play the no down and then suddenly the bow starts bouncing? The easiest way to do this imperfection is to do the flick. So in order to know the enemy, you have to study the enemy, right? So this is your enemy. So this is, that's your chord for the Mendelssohn. You go, then it's a little like bow, but you get the idea, okay? Maybe in a couple of years. Okay, I have a San Dominica student who's dying to play Mendelssohn. He's very, very strong, but he's already in the end of the 8th grade. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of it and let's see. You played for me that one, I think. No, I know you are attached to that one. Did you practice the rest of them? Can you sing G? Sing here. Another one. Sing 3 G's in a row. No, this one's 3 of this. No, just this ones, don't change them. And now E flat. Anyway, that annoying people with perfect pitch. I have one, but I had to work for it. She's born with it. Good for you. All right, beginning. Mm. No, not that one. You silly goose. Turn the book. Uh-huh. That one I heard last time.
You should tell him you practiced it. And I don't think you heard that one last time. Did you?
We only play page 1.
Fine, play.
She's dying to play it for you. That's what the thing is. So
Okay.
tell him.
Okay, stop. It's very impressive. You are stopping between the groups. You need to keep on going, and your elbow is too stiff. It has to go. And can you play it a little faster? Ooh, see, that's what the problem is. You play like a little bird. There's no sound coming, see? You have to find... Do you understand? Find this first. And yes, you did incredibly well. Hold it. Let me try. There, go. Yes, the motion is only this way. Don't do anything special, just play. No, you're going all over the place. It's like a windmill, a broken something. Straight this way. Good, now flick it. Don't stop it. Right, so that's what your next practice is. You see, in order for you to have that stroke, you need to find that motion, keep it steady, and then go into the flick. And remember, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, because sometimes you play 2 on the G string, and it becomes.
That's the
very.
That's the variation.
Okay, well, smart test. Yeah, I don't want the variation. I only want 1 because I want that action in you. Do you understand? But if you think that you succeeded, you can take it to the scales. And there is one thing that Asians cannot do. At least not all of them. Mignon is a spectacular technically player. It took her 6 or 7 years to learn to do it. Triplets on the scale in Sautillet, impossible. So it's actually Hegenek who told me that Asians can't count until 3, and merely taught all of her Asians to do this exercise. I think she knew too. And somebody who studies psychology told me that it's kind of a BS, but people believe that European minds think in triangulars and Asians in squares. And it's ridiculous, but one of my absolutely strongest Asian violin students was doing the Vietnam Polonaise, and it goes like the... She could not do it. She was doing an extra note. It's much harder, but she just could not do 3. She had to do 4. Miles was dying when he was playing with her.
It's probably from the writing.
I don't know, maybe.
Because we write in 3 and they write in 4.
Possible.
Maybe.
Possible. I don't know, but I know for sure that this is one thing that for 8 out of 10 Asians is a nightmare. Can you play for me scale in triplets? You can do your favorite B flat major, but play each note 3 times and play it fast. You must be Asian. She must be Russian. It's so hard. Well, anyway, that's what you will need to be looking for. Once you find then you go. Do you understand? All right, good. This is good. What you have done is beautiful. I'm pushing you further. Now go to the beginning. Oh, not of that one. Let me get a refresher. That's 116, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you practice it with a metronome?
No.
So you're going to do now. Go. Stop. It's very, very good, but it's supposed to be at the front, not in the middle. Out. Go on, go on, go on. Not bad, not bad. A little scratchy. So you could add, I don't know, maybe a quarter of an inch more bow for them. But technique is correct. All right. I want to spend the rest of the time playing the concerto. Let's hear it. Did you memorize the first 2 pages?
No.
Still not. My goodness, that memory of yours is weak.
Well, I know how.
Uh-huh.
I know how, but I don't practice.
You know,
it.
what?
I know how.
Go. Strange timing, and it's also a Jerusalem style spore, which I really like, but he didn't write it. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes?
I guess.
What am I talking about? Huh?
I kind of get it, but I don't really get it.
How can you half guess?
I don't know.
See? No sound of. It's just a melodic minor, so it's a B minor, B natural there. Yes, attack it. Papa. Well then, aim a little bit higher, right? Very good. Can you do this for me? No, I only want one hit. Down, ta-da-dum. Once. No, pam, pa-da-dum. Only once. Good. Now only twice. Down, up. No, I don't want mumbling. I want crisp, like this. No, you're starting from above. I need you to repeat the C sharp. Yes, it's good, but it's still not crisp. Can you do it without the bow? Hit it harder. And now relax and play with the bow. When you play with the bow, don't push, just touch the string. Go. Much better. That's the idea. Now, do you know how to practice each trill so it's crisp and fast? No. Okay, I'll show you. This one and all others, you need to do this. You find the bass note, you find your hand in a position that is like as if you like hold something round, right? Make sure that you relax. Your bass finger have to hold the string down, but not to push right here. Thumb has to be relaxed. And then you go again. Make sure to position yourself in such way that only finger moves and no hand moves. Sometimes even lock yourself against the violin to avoid vibrato. So you're gonna... You can do it very seldom, but super fast. And then you turn it around. And do it as fast as possible, but not too often. You're making an effort in your hand. I want you to make an effort only in the finger. That's better, but do lift finger. If you ever play for Chiyan, she will say better slower, but lift the finger high enough so it has some energy to fall down, or the sound will be, yes, see how much cleaner it sounds. Yes, it's always a paradox. We want to keep fingers close so they move fast, but when we play trio, we lift them a little higher so the clarity is there. Very good. Don't be impatient. Play rare, seldom, but perfect. Do snap, snap. Yes, that's the go. Right. Now turn it around. Yes. Yes, that one is always harder. But make sure that fingers don't touch each other, otherwise the friction will slow you down. Do you know the word friction?
Yeah.
Don't get that in there. Go. You're using your arm to get there. Only finger moves, nothing else. Now play the piece. Right, go. Ta-dee-da. Now you have to save some bow for the little guys or they won't speak to you. No. No, play the piece. Very good. And now, do you know what your tempo is?
No.
Did you practice with the metronome?
No.
You should. Especially here where mixed rhythms are. Come on, slow down, machine. Let's go on that tempo. No, from the beginning of the piece, and don't slash the bow, play into the string. To get really heavy and emotional here. Yeah, pressure is solid, vibrato is wide and fast. Go. There you go. Not bad. Yeah, that could be your final tempo. It's a little bit slower than I would want, but it's definitely acceptable. Okay? You're doing really good. Now, the last time, the final time that you played on the G was really good. It was impressively powerful, yet in tune with vibrato and everything. Please don't play any other way. The only point for us to suffer climbing up on the G string to be powerful and passionate. You know? Do you know who Beethoven was?
A composer.
Yeah. Do you know what he thought the music's supposed to do? Well, now I will remind you and I will remember forever. He said that the purpose of music is to strike fire out of human heart. To make people very, very emotional and passionate about things. You know, that stupid reporter once asked him, why is he, Beethoven, not writing beautiful music? You know what she said? Why bother? Mozart already wrote all beautiful music. Anyway, you did good. The following part is difficult and you're obviously not ready to play up to this speed. But I think you should try. But for now, we're slowing down. We're going from 80 to 60 and see if you can survive this. So, ya, da, 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 da. If you miss the note in the middle of the passage or a phrase, it's not good, but it doesn't strike the listener's ear quite as hard as the top note. So make sure that that B flat is nailed every time. And if you really hit the top note really well and you feel like you could vibrate, be a little bit of a prima donna singer. Just wait a little longer and vibrate and let people enjoy it. Okay? You play well. You play very well. Do you think you could play it by memory? You don't have to close the music or turn around. Just don't look there. Look at your fingers or something. That's too slow. It's a play like a machine. Into the same C sharp.
No, it's fine.
Sweetie, when she laughs at you, she doesn't mean in an evil way. She means that you are so damn good that every mistake is almost funny. Do you understand? So, the worst thing that you could do for your intonation is to play exactly the same notes different. It's like, hey, okay? Very good. Do you know who Lucy Ricardo was?
No.
Well, your mama maybe someday show you. Speed it up a little. Drop us in the mouth. So let's speed it up a little. Go. Okay. I want you to get a little like. You are choking on that. Oh, stop. You're choking on an up bow because your down bow is too lazy. Move that first note. That's right. That's right. Let's speed it up a little. I can't hear you and you're right in front of me. Get wild. Come on. That's the only place where you're allowed to go crazy, so go. Stop. From the beginning. Dum-dum. Don't stop. Move the bow fast. Yeah, stop. And another one. Skunk again. Move ahead of the metronome. Don't drag it back. Yeah. Charles. Right. Do you know who Joan of Arc was? She was a famous French little girl who saved her motherland by charging the enemy pretending to be a boy. She came to the army and said that she got an order from the king that they have to attack the enemy, and she led it. I can just imagine you with the sword drawn and said, "Charge! Attack!" on that beautiful horse. Yeah. Anyway, be Jeanne of Arc. Go. Charm! There you are. Attack! You're welcome. When you practice correctly and patiently, playing faster gets easier. Because you have more bone. Let's speed it up a little and see if it gets easier and easier. Don't start at the frog, or you won't be able to choke that bow. Pum! Pum! Watch for that G. There is a big problem growing. You shift into the G flat and then you play B flat in tune. That's a major problem. You should have missed B flat too, but you didn't. But you missed the G. Do you understand what that means? No. You shift into the position where all the notes are supposed to be in tune. If your ghost note is out of tune, but your note of arrival is in tune, it's not a good thing, because that means that your fingers don't know where the position is. Understand now? Yeah. One more time. I want to reach the original tempo. We're very close. Go.
What is the original?
You'll soon find out. Go. Pum. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Stop. Have you seen a pelican? Yeah, sometime. I think it's end of May. They gather in my bay at the lake house. I should bring you there. It's scary. It's like literally thousands of them, and they all over. They're seagulls and pelicans and whatever. Their little bait fish moves into the bay, and there are trillions of that bay fish. You literally come with a little net scoop and you get a couple of dozen of fish, and there it just boils, and the fish eats, and then it just sits like that because the tongue is like that. But you have to move your wing, your pelican's wings fast. Alright, let's speed it up a little. Yeah, go. You have 4 minutes. Let's see if you can reach the original tempo. Go. Good. The pelican has to flap the wings fast. Move fast. Go. Better, do it one more time. playing slow. You're playing late sometimes. Therefore, let's speed it up a little. That's penultimate. Tempo. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, so you reach the top speed of this vehicle, and you're only 10 clicks away from the final speed. Let's try it. I know you can't, but I want you to try it anyway. Don't use too much gold. But a heavy hand, move fast, but not too much. You have no problems with playing the notes. You playing the notes in the final tempo. It's the poor pelican. He's ate too much fish and can't flap the wings. Do you understand? It's too slow. Other than that, yeah, you got the final tempo. That's your 80 only. We have now 160 because we were in a half click. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Can you do staccato in that tempo? Easy, right? Start in the upper part of the boom. Almost, but a little bit faster. Let's slow down a little bit and pick it up. This is 140. Yeah, again, go closer to the tip so you have places to go. Good. 145. Go again. Start closer to the tip. Yeah. That's definitely not the same girl that I taught the staccato just to show for the Qian. By the way, just how gracious and generous this person is. One of our kids got waitlisted in San Dominican. It's not easy to get in, right? So everybody wrote letters, Igor, Sergey, I did, and I just, out of blue, I texted her, so you have a minute? She calls me back, says, what's up, what do you need? I told her, remember that girl that played for you in the master class? Now she got waitlisted, she could definitely use your help. She says, oh my God, of course, what can I do? I say, why don't you pull out the phone, aim it yourself and say, hey, I'm Qian, I'm a superstar violinist and I worked with this girl, I like her, I'm looking forward to working with her again, and send it to the admissions. And she says, well, I have 3 rehearsals. Could you please remind me during that time I will have a little break between the rehearsals? And she did it. Instead of just sitting. And
For
she
the
called
high
me
school?
late at night, yeah. She called me late at night and says, you know, I would do it now, but I'm already in my PJs and slightly drunk. I don't think they will appreciate that. I said, send one through me. Anyway, you did great. Let's try to push it. Go. Almost there. So, Brad. Closer to the tip. Almost, but you're not starting it. Go. Yeah, you're starting to shake at 154. 150 you can easily do, but you need to get yourself up to 160. And then the good things will happen. Do you understand? All right. How about you play for me a little bit from B?
Yay!
Go. Too slimy. Make it a little bit more elegant and vibrate continuously. Good. No. Summary of vibrato is jerky and convulsive, and your fourth finger, which is the top note of the phrase, has no vibrato at all. That's never going to sound really good. Try again. No. Why is there accent on the abo? Do you really want this? Do you really feel it that way? Then don't do it. Nice. Don't raise the shoulder. Hello. Okay. Ella, this is all good. And you need to realize that just like everybody else, when you learn this concerto, you learn different bricks of it in different deltas. You need to start doing one thing for me. You work on one bar at the time. You play it slow, you work with a metronome, and you gradually push yourself up into the real tempo of it. And you, at the end, you play without the music. You memorize as you do. So gradually, it's like pieces of puzzle. Your picture will feel itself in. You will play better and better, cleaner and cleaner, and faster. Understood? Well done. Question. Proof.